Hi, in this part of the Blender beginner course, I'll introduce animation in Blender. And don't forget to watch the earlier parts. If you are interested in learning the latest 3D techniques, particularly in Blender, be sure to subscribe to the channel. Before we begin, let me introduce our Asset Store website, where you can explore a variety of free and premium assets. We offer high-quality game-ready assets and also Blender projects, all of which you are free to use in any of your projects. So be sure to check out our store at store.blackcave.com. First, we need to expand the timeline at the bottom. This is the animation timeline where you can add and play animations. You can play using the play button or the spacebar, and every 30 frames equals 1 second. There are some fields at the top. The first one shows the frame counter position. The second and third fields set the frame range. For example, my project goes from 1 to 250. You can easily change the frame range. Now let's add a movement animation to the cube. To add animations, we need keyframes. Each key represents a specific motion. When you click the record button, auto key mode will be activated. Now we need an entry key or starting point. At frame 0, we need to move a cube. It's standard to start at frame 0. As you can see, a key has been added for the movement. We can move or change this key, or we can jump to it using the buttons above. For the next motion, I want to move the cube to the left. I need to select frame as the endpoint. Now let's move the cube and you'll see another key added at frame 60. Now we have the start and end keys. We can add more keys between them and a simple movement animation is created. As you can see, the color of location property in the transform section has changed, which means we have motion in this field. Now let's add rotation to the cube. Just like the movement, we need start and end keys. Now let's play the animation and see the result. And now the color of rotation property has changed. Now I want to implement something where the cube's scale increases when it reaches the center of the scene. At the start key, we need to add a key for the scale. Make a small change and then revert the scale back to 1. We only need the key. The scale value at frame 0 shouldn't be changed. At the center frame, we need to increase the scale. At the bottom, we need to revert the scale back to 1. It's not necessary, but I want to add this effect. Okay, great. Now let's add a sphere and add motions to it as well. I want to change the color of the sphere instead of moving it. We need to go to the material editor section, which I explained in the previous parts. When we create a material for the sphere, we need to change its color property. Let's go back to the timeline. It's right here. While auto record is enabled, let's change the color. Before that, I should mention that Blender has a feature that allows us to add a window anywhere we want. Simply by dragging the corner of a window, you can then go to the specific section in the new window. Now at frame 0, let's change the base color. As you can see, no key has been created. Well, a key is created rapidly when we move an object. Let's activate the material preview or render mode for the color by pressing the Z key. Also, we need to smooth the surface. For some properties and fields, if we want to add animations to them, we need to press the I key on them and add key manually. Now a key has been created and the color of the field is yellow. Simply change the color at any frame you want. As you can see, the color is changing. Let's pick a color at frame 40. That's good. We need to add keys manually to almost all the fields in Blender. Alright, we don't need the material section anymore. Now let's add a camera and add some motions to it. Press Shift A and add a camera. If you press 0 on the numpad, you'll see another camera. This is because we have two cameras in this scene. And the first one is the active camera. You'll see a green camera icon below the camera. Click it to turn the camera on. Camera 1 is now the default. To enable navigation with the camera, press the N key and activate the camera in the view section. Now I need to choose a view. I can also change the focal length to adjust the camera lens. Higher values give a more cinematic view. Lower values are useful for scenes where we want to show motion, like running, for example. Now let's turn on auto recording and add a camera animation by moving the camera a little. At frame 80, I'll add another movement to the camera. I have a camera animation ready here. Let's add a focal length transition too, but I need to manually add a key using the I key. That's good. Now I want to add a feature where the sphere follows the cube when it moves or rotates. To make the sphere follow the cube, I need to set the cube as the parent of the sphere. This way, the sphere will follow the movement of its parent. Select the sphere, then the cube, press Ctrl P and choose the object option. Now if I open the cube, I'll see the sphere as its child. By moving the cube, the sphere will move too. And during the animation, the sphere will move and rotate as well. We can also add an empty object and make the sphere its child. To add an empty object, press Shift A, then in the empty menu, select Plane Axis. Now let's explore another method of animating. Let's add a sphere. I want to make this sphere rotate along a path. To add a path, I need something called a curve. In the Add menu under the Curve section, select Circle. Press S to scale it up. To add this functionality, I need to select the sphere and go to the Constraints menu. Then add a follow path constraint. Next, select the curve using the color picker icon. Now the sphere is attached to the curve and I can move it using the offset value. Now let's add a cube. Follow the same steps. As you can see, the cube doesn't change its rotation based on the path. We need to enable the follow curve option to make this work. Okay, now let's remove the cube and record an animation for the sphere. For the offset, I need to add a key manually using the I key at frame 0. By changing the offset, it will automatically add other keys and I won't need to press the I key. Great! In the next part, I'll introduce more advanced concepts in Blender. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And feel free to share your questions and ideas in the comments.